It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And you can also listen to the Mike Wagner Show on your iPhone, Android, smartphone, and Alexa. Just say, play the Mike Wagner Show on Alexa, and you can also listen to the Mike Wagner Show on your tablet, your laptop, or your desktop as well. We're here with a wonderful lady who started her career as a New York City fashion writer and later became a nationally presented stage storyteller and created a very unique website. And she also brings exclusive mood-boosting songs, branded podcast creator, and does a lot of improving essays live on national radio, and also published original fiction podcast. And, I mean, she just does a lot. And when you see her, she'll make you sing and smile at the same time. And basically, she knows how to make you feel good no matter what day it is, 365 days a year. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful Colorado, coming from New York over the Colorado and into your smiling hearts on the radio, ladies and gentlemen, live, the ultimate smiling song lady, Sharon Glassman. Sharon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Mike, thanks so much for having me on, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm smiling. You made the smile ladies smile.
Well, that's our job, too. It's make everybody smile, you, me, everybody else. And, of course, you started as a career as a New York City fashion writer, and why certain colors, clothes makes folks happy. You later became a nationally presented stage storyteller, and you also do some singing, you do some voiceover work, and you also have your line of clothing as well, too. Got your own website and got a podcast, and you just have so much going on as well, too. I guess I don't know where to start, but before we get to all that, tell us how you got started.
Sure. Well, I've always asked why. I think that's my big question, and it's usually, why do certain things make folks happy, and how can I create more of them? Because happiness is one of those things that we all love to have, but sometimes it's a little hard to find, when life gets really busy or stressy. So I went from being, as you mentioned, a fashion writer in New York City, asking, why do certain colors make people feel good? What's the deal with high heels? Where did they come from? What's going on? And at a certain point, I moved to Colorado, and to my great surprise, became a performing songwriter. And in between those 2 points, I, as you mentioned, had sort of turned my journalism into a career telling reported stories on stage. So I'd interview people about true love stories and then present them to other people who would then, how you feel when you fall in love, that happy. So it was a way of spreading happiness. And I started adding music into my stage stories. They became more fiction-based. And when I moved to Colorado, became a songwriter. And at one of my live shows, I performed for what I call jewel box audiences. They're intimate groups of people, and everybody's a gem. And one of these super kind people came up and said, this makes me smile, seeing you perform live, hearing these songs, but there's something about seeing stuff at the same time, and I wonder, could you put those together, not like a music video, but in some other way that I could have your songs on demand and look at something that makes me feel good too? And I thought, wow, it's an interesting question. Yes, I can. Give me a second. And I came up with this idea of smile songs, which are art prints and now also T-shirts and other fun stuff to wear that make you smile when you look at them, and then you scan a QR code or visit a web link on the actual item, and I'll sing you a happy song too. So it's a little bit like, the peanut butter cup where it's salty and sweet and makes you happy in two ways. Smile Songs looks really fun and sounds really fun and makes you smile and feel good in a number of different ways. So that's how that all happened.
That is amazing. What kind of things do Smile Songs say and sing, and why?
Well, they say and sing the things that people really want to hear, but may not be able to say themselves or somebody else. Like, thanks to you for being you, Mike Wagner. May your bold dreams bloom, which is something that I'm finding a lot of parents and grandparents are feeling a lot for their kids and grandkids, that wish that we all know how challenging it is just to be a person in this crazy world, and that we all have big dreams, and for someone to say, may your bold dreams bloom, and the actual framed art and the T-shirt has a flower that's growing up with those words as the stem. It sort of conveys that kind of love. And looking ahead to Valentine's Day, I have one called I Can't Spell Love Without You, where love is spelled L-U-V, but the U is missing. I can't spell love without. Right? You got it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and of course, they say mistakes like that can be a gift. How does that work?
Well, I don't know if you have experienced a mistake in your life. I have. Certainly many times. And what I've found is when I goof up, if I acknowledge that either in the moment or later in something that I'm creating, boy, other people really relate. So I'm trying to think of, here's an example. So when I was transitioning to becoming a songwriter from being a journalist, I play violin, I play guitar, and I got into what looked like it was going to be an amazing all-girl, all-lady band, and we were rehearsing and doing really well, and I just felt like I was going to be a rock star and play electric violin with this group. And what I didn't know was that the electric violin I'd been using, I played it in orchestra originally, so acoustic and classical. I bought this electric violin without realizing that it wasn't meant to play on stage, and I didn't know what a monitor was. So I didn't know that I should have a cord that would actually let me hear what I was playing, and it turned out my fiddle went totally out of tune before our big gig, and we all walked onto the stage as best friends ready to go on tour, and we all walked off on stage not talking to me.
Oh,
because
no.
Having survived that, and I'm still really good friends with the leader of that group, like once we all recovered our equanimity, I just didn't know what I didn't know, and I'm only human. And although one of my dreams kind of blew up in that instance, it taught me a lot about being kinder to myself, and therefore being able to show other people that they should be kinder to themselves as well. We all make mistakes, and it's how we move on with that and embrace each other for only being human that really brings us together.
That was amazing. It sounds like you have a lot of influence as well, too. And who was your favorite artist and singer and actor growing up, or your favorite TV show?
Ooh, that's such an interesting question. So I think I was just running through Spotify before we got on the call with each other, and I heard an old Carole King song, and I was like, wow, was she influential when I was growing up? I mean, I loved the Tapestry album. I think it was one of the first albums my dad bought and brought into the house.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, just so many great songs and loving songs, and so she was definitely a fave. Favorite actor growing up? That's such an interesting question. Why did I just think of like Flip Wilson and Barbra Streisand? I'm going way back to like being a little kid.
Go back as far as you like. I mean, it's on you basically, and basically, I just have to say, you're you, and the floor is you, and everything else. So go ahead, have at it. So
yeah. So I mean, those guys definitely. All-time favorite movie, jumping ahead, Princess Bride, hands down, no doubt.
Oh, that was a fantastic movie. It's like I can't think of the favorite line in there, but I just love Andre the Giant for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, again, I think he's so loving, like he's trying to be a tough guy, and yet he's so relentlessly nice that I found that appealing. And with Wallace Shawn keeps saying, what is the thing that we're both blanking on the same thing. And then Andre the Giant keeps saying, I don't think that means what you think it means, that word. They're a great team, like the prideful, evil little wannabe villain and then the kind giant. There's just so many great characters and messages in that movie. So that's all-time fave.
That's something as well, too. And we'll talk more about your Smile Songs project as well, too. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Deezer, Stitcher, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Sharon Glassman from Smile Songs. She started her career as a New York City fashion writer, then later moving on to Colorado, became a nationally presented stage storyteller, also designer, songwriter of Smile Songs art, wearable, and songs as well, too, that makes it sing. And, I mean, just an amazing combination. And tell us more about Smile Songs and how do you make this art and all the songs and everything else, your work, sing?
Well, it works like this. There are elements that I say sing to your eyes. Those are the actual visual designs. I use a lot of flowers. Right now I'm using a lot of bees. And it seems that there's a big bee trend coming up for 2020, smiling little bees that say things like, believe, be love, be you. Because I'm not afraid of a pun, Mike, if I have to go there. And I do. And what will happen, let's look at the Believe, Be Love, Be You design. And there's a T-shirt and an art print. And they sing a happy song that is also called Believe, Be Love, Be You. But I started with the idea that I was hearing a lot from folks that I was talking to that, again, bees made them smile, smiling bees made them smile. And I was thinking about those messages that people want to hear. And again, when we think of things that are inspiring on an everyday level, but fun, that idea of having a pun and the little bees telling you to believe and also, to be loving, but most of all, to be yourself, be you. So I had those elements. I created a little repeating pattern of my smiling bees, and the believe bee has a leaf, because again, a pun, belief. Be love has a heart, and be you has a little lightning bolt, and they're in a big heart. And when I went to look at the song, I ended up creating a very happy sort of acoustic Americana, bluegrass-inspired song about a little caterpillar that wakes up in the morning wondering what she's supposed to do. And there's a hummingbird humming in the garden who says, believe, be love, be you. And the story is a little story song, and it goes on. And now the caterpillar is tangled in the covers, wondering how she's going to break on through. And again, she gets help from a friend in the garden. Little inchworm inching in the garden says, believe, be love, be you.
Wow.
And we go on.
That is amazing. Yeah. So that's what the buzz is all about.
Right. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for upping the pun sting, the punstering. Yes, exactly. That is what the buzz is all about. And what happens is when people see the art, they smile. When they interact with it by either scanning the QR code that's on the design or going to the web link that's on the design, that's fun. They're already psyched. And then when the song starts to play, they're having a full-on, multi-sensory happiness experience. So looking at something that makes them smile, hearing a song that makes them smile, having made it sing, that interactive part's super fun, and then going on to tell a friend or give this as a gift. There's that extra step where they share the experience and pass it on. So it's really like happiness for your eyes, your ears, and your heart.
Wow, that is something. And maybe you can like to sing a little for us or something and just get us an idea of what your Smile Song's all about, maybe a bit of a song or so?
Sure. Well, the one we're talking about goes, caterpillar yawning in the morning, wondering what she's supposed to do. Hummingbird humming in the garden says, believe, be, love, be you. Oh, believe, be, love, be you.
That is amazing. Oh, my goodness. And I do believe it as well, too. That is just amazing. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You can hear for every little, every product in the collection, when you go to the page on the online store on smilesongs.com for that product, there's always a little audio clip. So you can see what it looks like, and you can hear a sample of a song, the song that goes with it. So you sort of know how they work together and what they sound like.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing, too. And, of course, you've also been told, too, that there's a thing on Introvert AF as well, too. And you also admitted to being an introvert as well, too. And do you think it's like a very rare trait for someone that's an introvert to be a professional entertainer or a popular personality? It seems to me that it's actually quite common, in my opinion. It's just like, I have to say, it's like myself I can relate.
Well, let's talk to you for a minute, because I'd like to hear about that. I would not have guessed that you might be an introvert. For me, it plays out that, and I wonder if you can relate, that going out into the world and performing and making other people happy, part of the ability to do that is also being a deep listener and someone who's deeply compassionate about other people. And those are really introvert traits, where we take in a lot of our surroundings and information and a lot of awareness about how other people are feeling, and then can deliver that out. But then after that, I find for me after a show, I don't know if you can relate, that the next thing I want to do is Netflix and chill with like a cup of herbal tea.
Or for some, it's like information overload. I know people like that. So don't believe all the stories where it's like you go out, you party afterwards till 4 a.m. And I have a little story to tell as well, too, that I was with one of my radio station managers, and we were talking, and I was supposed to go home after a shift, but we just kept talking and talking and talking. And he was talking about a famous Chicago radio personality who appears to be like Mr. Party Animal and say, hey, I've been out since 4 a.m. and everything else. But the real story was that they sent out an intern to party at 4 a.m. while he went home and just sat with family, Netflix, chill, and that was it. So
that's so interesting and so relatable. I mean, supposedly the statistic is really we're equally divided. 50% of the population is more on the extroverted scale, and 50% of the population is on the introverted scale. And obviously, there's a lot of crossover in between. But so, Mike, you feel like you're an introvert as well, yeah?
Well, I do have to say, I guess it depends on the mood as well, too. It's like there are days you may have to be an extrovert. There are days you might have to be. It all depends, too. So it's like, the thing with radio people, it's that, many of them are introverts. Behind the mic, they say, hey, we're doing great. And then off the mic, it's like, see you later. So, we're not discouraging everybody from doing that, but that's just most of the truth as well, too. And, of course, I can relate from experience as well, too. But then you also take the nationwide stage as well, too. We'll talk more about that. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Sharon Glassman, the owner of SmileSongs.com. She made her career as a New York City fashion writer, then later becoming a nationally presented stage storyteller. She's got the website called SmileSongs.com. We talked about how the T-shirts can make people smile, the colors and everything else, and sang a little bit as well, too. And, just a few more things as well, too. How do you decide what kind of songs to write for the different T-shirts and the art prints you design?
The songs really are composed to emphasize the positive message that's on the art and on the words, on the, occasionally there's a typography that'll be on the art as well. So if we look at something, you would mention the Introvert AF, T-shirt and print, which are really designed to help quiet folks power up when they need to go into social situations, or even, if they want to stay at home. And the way that song works is it has a bass line that kind of goes bang, ba-ding, 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 kind of like, and it's going, watch out, world, the introverts are coming, and we're thinking really loud, oh, watch out, world, the introverts are coming, and we're feeling really proud to be staying home and reading books, and skipping all your looks. Oh, we've got everything it took to stand our ground, and maybe lie around. So watch out, world. The introverts are coming, and we're thinking really loud. And the bass comes back. And so the idea with that is it's tongue in cheek, right? It's a little like a power anthem for introverts. So there's humor in there, and as much as there is with the design, which in this case is an introvert girl, with all the exciting things that introverts think about all around her head. There's a lightning bolt, there's a chemistry beaker, there's a shooting star. And so it's that mix of positivity, a little tongue-in-cheek, and then also just full-on emotional support. Because, if you go to an audition, I don't know if you can relate to this, but needing to have your energy up, and yet needing a little bit of, I call it soft armor to get through an experience. Mm-hmm. And that's what it does. That song sort of pairs with the T-shirt that you can wear or the art print that can be on your wall to help you be your best self, be an introvert, and then also be kind of as empowered as you need to be at that moment.
That was amazing, too. It seems like the number of introverts are small, but then when you present the statistics of being 50-50, you believe that small is the new big when it comes to personal happiness. Explain that one.
Sure. So the way that we're talking one-on-one to each other right now, and we're also communicating with all your wonderful listeners in a personal way, it's an personal connection. It's not, I'm not shouting and you're not we're having like a real one-on-one connection, and I think that small connection is enormous in terms of happiness, so that at the end of the day, happiness may not be having the most stuff or the most if we look at the social media world, millions and bazillions of followers, but actually having a genuine positive connection one-on-one with each other. I think that's really where happiness is.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something as well, too. Although radio appeared to be one-on-one, podcast and everything else, it's also on a national stage as well, too, right? Like radio, sure. TV, the stage, and everything else. You did some improving essays live on national radio, and you also published original fiction podcast with a full soundtrack, and voice of Lifetime TV, co-host a weekly radio show with the Golden Girls writer. And just tell about some of your national experience and how you got there.
Sure. So those are things that I've done leading up to what I'm doing now, and they were all amazing experiences. I have been a voiceover artist. As you mentioned, I was a voice of Lifetime Television, which was super fun back in my days in New York. I was the 4.6-second menu voice. So everything I did had to be in 4.6 seconds, and fortunately for me, I had a skill at delivering copy in that very specific amount of time. The folks I worked with there were just lovely. And again, it was communicating a big message for a network, but in a way that felt really personal and one-on-one. So, what was coming up next, which in many cases was the Golden Girls. Later, when I moved to Colorado, I had the wonderful experience of being the co-host and the producer of a weekly podcast with a Golden Girls writer. And we did a weekly 1-hour show and booked guests. You can relate. It's like a mini version of the Mike Wagner Show. We booked guests.
Wow, that's something. And do you currently have the podcast going on still?
No, that ended a few years ago. That was about a 2-year project, and it was a branded podcast for a client who was wonderful, and then they left the Colorado area and moved on, and we're doing other projects, and so our piece of that then transitioned to I don't know what they're doing now. But it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And we were recording in a local radio station downtown in our town, which actually no longer exists. So it was a kind of special moment for all those entities, I guess you'd say, before transitioning on. And I went from there. I'd moved to Colorado, having written a novel in New York. My first book was based on one of my traveling stage stories, and it was about helping people of all faiths answer the wish list of kids in need at holiday time. And I performed that story in living rooms around the country, and I would bring real letters from the post office sent by kids and families who needed an extra bit of help at holiday season. So that was the first book I had done, and then I'd written a novel before I left New York, but wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it. And when I came to Colorado and started working at that little radio station, I started thinking, there's a song in every chapter of this novel, and now I'm a songwriter, and I can write and produce these, or work with a producer to get them done. And we actually performed live episodes of the novel every week for 13 weeks on the lawn of our local bakery located next door to the little radio station. And folks would come out, and then I started adding people to my performances of the chapters, and I went, this is a fiction podcast. And so we produced every week for 38 weeks, I think.
Wow.
An episode, I know, of the audio fiction podcast, and then published it as an audiobook. It's on iTunes. It's called The Lazy Person's Book Club, because you can enjoy the book without reading a thing. At the Lazy Person's Book Club, we'll read it and sing.
That is something as well, too. I love what you have, and maybe some listeners can reach out to you and say, hey, start another podcast. I mean, you've got a great thing going, yes.
I would be really fun. I mean, the really cool part of it was one of the places that I perform my live music is a small winery, beautiful small winery up in Estes Park called Snowy Peaks Winery, because the peaks up there are very snowy. And I collaborated with them, and we created something called the Book Club Wine, knowing that a lot of folks who go to book clubs have time to drink the wine, but may not have had time to read the book before they get there. And again, using a QR, I let people scan the entire Blame It on Hoboken was the name of the novel that the Lazy Person's Book Club podcast produced, right from the wine bottle. So you would just sit and drink in the story while you drank in your wine. Close your eyes, and the whole cast and all the songs would just pour out from the bottle of wine from the QR code on it.
Oh, my gosh, you're making me so thirsty and everything like that. Oh, my gosh.
It's a really good rosé, I have to say. If you like good wine, come to Colorado. I'll take you up to the winery. That'd be fun.
Hey, that'd be great, too. And, of course, these make great gifts as well, too. What advice could you give the folks looking for that perfect gift for someone they love or someone they work with or friends or family, or just give it to somebody?
I think when you're giving a gift from the heart, when you're really thinking about that person and expressing how much you care about them to them, you have won the gift-giving game. What you give at that point is almost secondary, because you're giving your love or your thoughtfulness, or to a coworker, your support or your sympathy. At that point, I think if you think about the person and something you'd really like to tell them, that you might not be able to necessarily express on an everyday level. We talked about thanks to you for being you, or you're beautiful with a Y-O-U. That's another very popular item at Smile Songs. Either the framed poster that says that is super popular, because it's saying something that we all believe about people in our families, people in our lives, also people at work, that you're really special. Anything, I think, that delivers a message of positivity to that person. And it could be as simple as just walking up to them and smiling and giving them that gift of appreciation. So again, circling back, I think anything that you give from your heart really will be the perfect gift and will be so appreciated by that person.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something we need in this world as well, too. It's like, don't be afraid to smile, don't be afraid to give. I guess that's the message we're conveying today.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in times when people are feeling very stressed or confused, or let's even say angry. There's so much in the news and so much in the media. We all digest so much information all day, and a lot of it unlike the wonderful Mike Wagner Show, and I say this sincerely from my heart, I love what you do in terms of bringing positive messages and people to your listeners. I think that's so important. But I think for folks that may be, getting a lot of messages that are designed to make us stressed out is taking a step back and going, one-on-one, we can really create a lot of compassion and kindness and smiles for each other in ways that are big and small every day.
And don't be afraid to do that all the time. Just don't take it the wrong way. That's all I could say at this point. So, and also too, what do you consider most defining moment in your career?
That's an excellent question. I would say, okay. I had been working on a story completely going on my gut instinct. Storyteller. And I was researching the story about a woman who was the first female professor of physics in Europe. I literally went to Europe and looked at her poetry and all this kind of stuff. And she was doing something that I thought was so unusual. She was researching, looking at water as a body in 12 parts. And I was translating that from Italian. I didn't know what it meant, but I went on my gut and came back to the States and said, are there any women who are physicists that want to talk to me for this show I'm doing? It's taking shape. I don't know what it's going to be. And the first woman who answered my request was a woman in Boston. And I said, what? She's looking at water as a body in 12 parts. And I thought, talk about going on your gut and just finding that the people that you need to work with are going to pop up. And that's been very true for Smile Songs, too. Creating art that sings, T-shirts that sing. It's not something that is a really well-known idea, and it felt a little scary starting out, like, what's going to happen? And every time somebody smiles, when they hear the song, when they put on the T-shirt, when they give the art print to someone as a gift, it's confirmation that just going with your gut, again, working from the heart, really is the right thing to do.
That is amazing. And, of course, you talk about science, it does matter.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. It definitely does.
Yes, it does. And also, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Wow, interesting question. I am a huge Willie Nelson fan.
Oh, Willie. I love Willie. Oh, my gosh.
Isn't he the best? And when you look at his personal story, I read his autobiography. Wow, it's such a great read. And the way that he started out and wasn't afraid to change and evolve, and also when people said no, to say, thank you, I appreciate your opinion, and now I'm going to go over here and pursue what I know to be right in terms of my career. He's done that over and over again. And as a musician and a songwriter, wow, just an amazing person.
Yeah, he does. He does sound amazing, too. I read about his biography, how he was a Bible salesperson door to door and then later evolving to a musician and where he's at today. And, of course, I say, for all you Willie Nelson fans out there, just light one up. I mean, he's looking good for his age and keeps getting better.
Right. I mean, in his 80s with Trigger, can do a Gershwin album, can turn around and do Sinatra covers, can turn around and do his originals, which are just astounding. And he tells a story, and I don't know if it's 100% true. He actually has a quote-unquote nonfiction book. What is it called? Life and Other Lies. So much fun to read. It's all short episodes of his life that he reports. And one of them, he claims that he was in a limousine being taken to a recording session, and his manager was saying, listen, Willie, we need the cover song for this album. When are you going to write it? When are you going to write it? And he goes, I'll have it written by the time we're there. And he starts going, we're on the road again.
And he just mumbled. It became a big hit.
Right? I mean, and so, again, even if he's fibbing, I don't mind, because part of a good tall tale is that it can be tall. But just he's such a positive person, too, and really does things his way. I mean, lives life his way and in a positive way.
And there's something as well, too, out the place. And Willie Nelson, after we get talking, maybe he'll be on your Smile Songs, too, singing something positive, just like you. Wow,
that would be amazing to do sort of like the guest star Smile Songs. Man, Willie Nelson, if you're listening, if you would like to do a Smile Songs, I would be honored. That would be amazing to put a Willie song on a T-shirt. It would be incredible, and design the art for it, or let him design it. Just make them of it.
That'll be
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Now you got me so excited. You said that would be perfect. I'm agreeing. I'm picturing like the Willie Nelson special edition Smile Songs T-shirt that sings. We'd probably have to have a blunt on it, but that makes people smile too. That's okay.
Especially with the blue eyes crying in rain, turning into happiness. You think about that.
That would be amazing. Yeah, blue eyes. Yeah. Oh, that would be. That's such a perfect song, too. Wowza. That would be great.
And, of course, in terms of creative ideas, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, especially for someone who's got a creative idea that's calling to them?
If a creative idea is calling to you, just go for it, right? Try out your idea. Make lots of mistakes. It's really part of the process and actually can lead to some great ahas, and celebrate those mistakes. When you're creating something new, what you may think is a mistake at this point may turn out to be your idea going down the line. And I would also say substitute the word "and" for the word "no." So it's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an idea that comes up a lot in improv comedy, right? So that if you're working with a partner, and they say there's a pink ostrich in the room and it's wearing a ball gown, you say, and some Converse sneakers, and boy, they look great, because otherwise you shut down the concept. It's the same when we're working with ourselves, right? A lot of us battle with the negative editor, we call it, the person who says, oh, you can't do that. Why not? It's like, I will do this, and I will do that. And if this doesn't work, then I will do the following. And see how your idea changes. Test drive your creation with some friends or strangers, right? Say, hey, I got this new idea. What do y'all think? And take the parts of that resonate for you. I'm not saying if someone says, no, that's not a good idea, that you should stop. You just go, oh, that's interesting. Okay. And, watch people as they interact with it. Again, seeing people smile, when I brought out the art prints and the T-shirts that sang, that led to the name Smile Songs.
Interesting. And interesting. Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, that's fantastic, too. And what do you got planned for 2020 when it comes to Smile Songs?
Well, there's a lot of really interesting stuff that's happening. Some of it I can say, the bee trend, definitely more gifts for introverts. And there's some stuff that's kind of big that I can't say yet. So if folks really want to get the news first, if you'd like to join the VIP mailing list, wow, I'd be honored. It's smilesongs.com/VIP. And that's where the news always happens first about the new products and new songs and new ideas. I even have a little live segment where I'll be interviewing people, Mike Wagner, who are really creative folks. So that'll be coming up to season 2 of that as part of the Smile Songs VIP mailing list goodies that only folks get there.
That would be great, and love to be on your program as well, too. We'll talk more about that off the air. And once again, Sharon Glassman, the owner of Smile Songs, started career as a New York City fashion writer and later becoming a nationally presented stage storyteller, smilesongs.com, and a lot more. Sharon, you've been fantastic. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to having you again in 2020. And before we go here, tell us once again about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, and where can people purchase your merchandise?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Mike, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's been so wonderful to chat with you. You're the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, it's like we got to spread this positivity around. When we meet good people, you got to let them know. You don't want to go unsaid out loud how wonderful you are. So thank you. Smilesongs.com is where folks can go and see the art prints and the T-shirts and all the goodies that sing, and you can reach me through the website or directly at Sharon at smilesongs.com. Coming up for 2020, the spring collection, our signature collection is up right now, and you can always find great gifts there. New stuff coming up, I would say February, March, spring collection will be launching, and some real great goodies there. And I always am open to custom projects. So I do custom wedding songs, custom songs for other special occasions, and yes, we can put them on framed art, or even a tea for you. The sky is the limit.
Wow. I am so looking forward to it. Sharon, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you on again soon. And do us a favor, keep us up to date, and don't be afraid to smile.
I'm smiling right now, Mike, thanks to you, and smiling at all you listening out there. And love to come back in 2020, and let's stay in touch.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.